How you doing? Once again, this is Jonathan Smith, President of the New York Metro Area Postal Union. And today I'm coming to you to talk about maintenance, in particularly the custodians, but a little bit about the MS1 employees, which is the BEMs, MPEs, ETs, MM7s, and so on. I need to talk to you about what we need you to do to help us help you. One of the problems that we come to find out is that a lot of custodian employees are not getting 4776s. What is a 4776? It's a route sheet. It's a route sheet that management is required to give you. We have a lot of custodians coming, or we have a lot of maintenance employees, I should say, as a whole, coming and saying, well, we're getting too much work to do, or we're not getting enough work to do. Well, how do you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing if you don't receive a route sheet? A route sheet is management's instruction to you of what they're asking you to do. Now, on that route sheet, you will see a time allotted to do whatever task that management is asking you to do. The problem is, it's an estimated time. It's not an actual time. Meaning, if you have to, let's say, clean bathrooms, and management gives you 2 hours to clean 6 bathrooms, and it took you 5 hours to clean 6 bathrooms, then you're supposed to put 2 hours on the task that they're asking you to do next to the estimated time, and management is supposed to give you what's called a work order. And you, on that work order, on that same route sheet, you will put the other 3 hours. So when we do a maintenance staffing, this is how we get the time increase that's allotted to do a particular task. But if you put all 5 hours next to the estimated time, you're only going to get credit for 2 hours. This is the game that management plays, and this is what happens with us, how we are destroying our own work because we're not properly accounting for the time that it's taking us to do the work. When management gives you a worksheet and it doesn't have, if you're under TL5 for custodians, 7 hours of work, then that should be your first question. Where is the rest of the work? And if they give you a worksheet that has more than 7 hours worth of work, then how could you complete more than 7 hours worth of work when you only could do 7 hours worth of work in a day? Now, management will go and tell you, don't put partial on the sheet, don't put incomplete on the sheet. And normally, you would not have to put partial or incomplete on your worksheets. But the only reason that you have to put it on your worksheets is because you're not going back to management or going to your shop steward and said, management is not providing me a work order to put the remainder of my time. Because if you were able to put the remainder of your time on a work order where it could be accounted for properly, then management would not have to put partial, you would not have to put partial on your worksheet or incomplete on your worksheet, because now you're properly accounting for your time. If you do work beyond the allotted time, you are supposed to go back to your supervisor and say, I need you to add a worksheet onto this work assignment so that I can get the proper credit for my time. Now, the other thing that we have to do that's very, very important, we have to sign our worksheets at the end of the day. If you sign your worksheet at the beginning of the day, then how can you account for all the changes in your assignment that management might make throughout the day, and then you done already signed off that you done did work that you didn't do? Or management done changed your work. If they change your work, they have to change your assignment. They have to change your worksheet. And we're not making management do this, so that way we're not getting credit for our work. And a lot of times when they go into the TL5, it greatly affects our staffing, because those work orders, all those work orders go into the staffing matrix to determine how many employees we are allotted in any particular installation or facility. So it's important, very important, that we make sure that we fill out these worksheets properly. The other issue that I want to talk to you about, there was an agreement that was signed off on, and as an arbitrator made a decision whether management must use overtime to cover a temporary vacancy in maintenance craft instead of detailing an employee to a higher level assignment under the provisions of Article 25. And basically that language says management must use overtime within the OC code for a higher level assignment before they can detail an employee from a lower level OpCo into that OpCo. This is Article 25. This is required. What management wants to do, they want to take custodians and they want to detail them to painters. They want to detail them. They say they're on the PER. No, because the contract says you must exhaust all your overtime. You must give all the overtime, max your overtime out within the OpCo before you can go outside the OpCo and detail anybody else into that assignment. Management is purposely violating this, and management has excess employees outside of the OpCo. If they excess an employee, excesses mean management says that we don't need that job or that employee in that position. So why would we let them come back and detail an employee and let management use them as they want to use them, and as long as they want to use them, and then send them back to their OpCo at their leisure? No, we fight for jobs. And the only way that we're going to be able to protect the work is we must enforce our contractual language, that we have very good language that is there to protect our jobs, but we have to start using it. We have to start putting in 1767 safety reports, not because you're not cleaning the bathroom, not because you're not cleaning the facility, because under TL5, the reality is the products that they are asking us to use just does not work. They are not working. They're not able to clean the bathroom to OSHA standards or even your own personal standards that you would feel comfortable using filthy facilities that are unsanitary to our liking. So we must all get on board. And the last thing I want to talk about, when management decides to change your job. In Article 38.4, it says when it is necessary to change your job. Now, when we're talking about your local memorandum might allow them to change your hours, 1 hour or 2 hours. I don't know what your particular local memorandum says, and we have different local memorandums because I represent 4 different installations. But one thing that management must show, when it is necessary to change your rest days. Now when they change your rest days, management might have a responsibility to repost your job. But what their first responsibility is the word necessary. Necessary in the dictionary means can't be helped, have no other choice. They have to do it. Management must meet that burden of necessary to show their need to actually get rid of that job, abolish that job. Well, I can't say abolishment because in maintenance we don't have any abolishments, but I should say repost that job to different rest days. There's other language on how they repost it properly, but for the this video, that would get too complicated, and I don't want to confuse people because we're trying to make these videos for the normal person, the regular person that has not really looked in the contract or understand contractual language to understand. I thank you for this opportunity. Hopefully, if the maintenance employees have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. Please stay tuned because soon we're going to go into live streaming and you'll be able to answer, I'll be able to answer your questions right on air as I'm shooting this video to give you an immediate response to any of your concerns if I could possibly answer them. Until the next time we have to speak, wishing you God's peace and blessings.